money in a savings account, unless it's that emergency fund that we've talked about before, it's just verging on reckless. Yeah, money needs a job, right? It's a worker that's ready to take action.
Yeah.
You just need to give it instruction. Profit automatically can feel like success. And when your business is profitable, you think, yeah, I'm doing really well.
The wealthy people that I know always see it as a waste if money's being held somewhere and not been allocated to an investment.
But whether your profit is sat in a personal savings account or your business bank account, it's not working hard enough.
If you leave it in there, you're risking tax efficiency, inflation.
Welcome back to the Bungalow. Today we are talking about something that actually isn't spoken about that often. If you're making money, which is fantastic, is your money working for you? We're going to go through 5 ways that you can make sure your money is working for you. But first, Nikki.
Welcome.
Hello. Hiya.
Hiya. All right.
What's happening in the Bungalow this week?
Well, lots of discussions with the architect, and I've been to his office.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of inspo there, a lot of inspiration. So we've been going through lots of different images. He said it's not very often that he gets given some plans to do with no final budget.
Oh.
So
You haven't given him a budget?
No.
Okay.
So listen, this is the first time I've ever employed an architect, and obviously people go to the architect, I want an extension, single story extension, and we've got 80 grand. Right. So I'm saying so phase 2 on the bungalow is massive. It's huge. It's like going up into the loft. It's like a wraparound extension, a studio at the bottom of the garden, the full works, right? So he's like, so how much have you got to spend? And I'm thinking,
25 quid?
That's what I'm thinking. So I've just let him go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Think big. And then he's going to say $1 million and you're going to bring it back.
I'm hoping that not in a million years would you be able to make it cost £1 million. But we shall see. But yeah, apex balcony, glass balcony.
I mean, you do have lots of lovely dreams. I'll give you that.
Listen, I'm manifesting it, all right? So it's going to happen.
Okay, all right.
So what about you? What's been happening in your world of property?
Well, I've also been having some inspiration this week, actually. My inspiration has come from other investors. I've had a couple of trips out to see other investors that I know from networking to see their property projects. One was an ex-local authority flat, which was bought at auction and is being let out via a social housing organisation. That's giving a good return. And the other one is a complete refurb reno from residential house to HMO in the centre of Cambridge. Amazing projects. Very different strategies, very different types of people, very different levels of work actually going into both those projects. But I always love going to see what other investors are doing because it gives me loads of ideas.
Yeah, and it's really nice to support our local networking group, isn't it? It's really nice.
Yeah, because that's the thing, as you know, property without networking can be a very lonely place to be.
Very solitary, yes. It's nice to have people to bounce stuff off occasionally. So today, talk to me. What are we chatting about?
Well, I think it's something that I think people don't often talk about, but it is something that's come up in conversation multiple times for us recently. As we've started the podcast, more and more people are talking to us about their finances, right? What we're both hearing is that people who are doing well and they're like, what am I doing with this money? Like, is it working hard enough for me? And I think it's a really good first world problem to have. This is what this whole podcast is about, is work smart with your money. So that is what we're going to talk about today. People who are generating a good income, be it through, they've just got a high paying job or they've got their own business. There is a section in this chat today where it's more specifically for business owners, but I think the lessons can be learned for everybody out there who's sitting on a little pot of cash.
Okay, so where are you holding this pot of cash?
Well, hopefully not in a savings account, but that's the point of the conversation.
Okay. So how can you turn this extra income into long-term security? What are you suggesting they do?
A lot of people are good at what they do, right? Whether it's in a job or running their own business. And that takes up a lot of time. It takes up a lot of energy, right? And so a lot of people then have got money, but they're less deliberate about what that money is doing for them. And they haven't got time to think about it. So it sits in a savings account, which is the very worst thing you could possibly ever do.
Yep.
And for me, money in a savings account, unless it's that emergency fund that we've talked about before, it's just verging on reckless. So we just want to talk through the ways today of putting that money to deliberate action that can work hard for you. So your money is working hard for you.
Okay, so say I'm a business owner.
Yeah.
I've been earning money in my business. So the money is sort of, as well, should I say stuck, or the money is in my business?
One of the problems is that profit automatically can feel like success. And when your business is profitable, you think, yeah, I'm doing really well. But whether your profit is sat in a personal savings account or your business bank account, it's not working hard enough, right? So it's about taking action and putting that money to work. I often hear people say, I'll do it when the business is a bit calmer or when things are a bit easier. And look, I've run a business, you've run a business. When is business calm? I mean, it's just not calm. That's a massive misconception. There is always something going on. You've either got lots of work to be going on with, or the work is coming down a little bit, and then you've got to push hard to get more clients in, get more jobs and get more work in, right? There is never a time when business is calm. If we wanted calm, I'd go work in a library.
And I guess that if you leave it in there, you're risking tax efficiency, inflation, all sorts of things. So basically your money is degrading.
Absolutely, 100%. If the money is just sat there, it is degrading. This is where mindset really does matter, and wealthy people tend to have that shift of stopping to seeing surplus money as spending money. I think that's the key.
Yeah, I think the wealthy people that I know always see it as a waste if money's being held somewhere and not been allocated to an investment.
Yeah, money needs a job, right? It's a worker that's ready to take action.
Yeah.
You just need to give it instruction, right?
Yeah.
So people say to us all the time, somebody down the road said it to you this week, how can I best put my money to work? And so we're going to talk through now 5 ways, if you're a business owner, that you can put your money to work.
Oh, perfect.
Nothing we're going to say on this podcast episode today is advice. Obviously, speak to your accountant, speak to your tax advisor, 2 different people, 2 different jobs, who will be able to assess your unique situation and give you advice that is right for you. This is our experience and our perception of how to maximise.
Everyone's situation is completely their own. It's just completely different. So yeah, obviously we can't advise on someone's specific situation.
So the first and most obvious one, number 1, is pay yourself. A lot of accountants would advocate for minimum salary wage.
12 and a half grand in a business, I think.
Yeah, currently 12 and a half grand,
yes, yeah.
In the UK, and then you pay yourself the rest in dividends, which is currently the most tax efficient way that you can pay yourself from your business. The amount that you're allowed to take from your business tax-free on dividend is diminishing all the time.
Yep.
After consecutive governments and
Yep.
their budgets. But it is still the best way to do it, rather than giving yourself a whacking great salary and then a big income tax bill. So that's the first one, is pay yourself in the most efficient way. Once that money hits your personal bank account from your business bank account, it's immediately exposed to a number of things that are ready to eat away at it, like sugar on teeth. beneath, right? So you're immediately going to be exposed to higher rate of tax, and a lifestyle creep is another big one that can eat away at your money. So those are big things to be aware of. And so that brings us neatly to number 2, which is to turn your surplus into ownership. Okay, this applies whether you're employed, self-employed, or running your own business. Make your surplus work for you.
How do you suggest you'd make your surplus work?
Assets are where I put my money to work all day long, because assets build resilience and they continue to grow without you putting in any further effort, really. It's not exchanging time for money, right? That's a job. Assets, it's completely different. You can set them up and off they trot, and they'll continue to grow for you, which is what we want to do for that long-term wealth, that legacy wealth that we're all striving to build, okay?
Okay, so you're saying that some rental income's going into your business, or you're running an active business there, and then to use the money to buy something else in the company, like another property?
Yeah, absolutely. You could buy something in your current business, but it does depend on your SIC code, which is your standard industry code, which you tell Companies House that your business is going to be doing. So for argument's sake, if I run a retail business, I've got a retail code that goes for that. So then if I start buying property within that retail business, alarm bells are going to ring for Companies House and HMRC. So again, speak to your accountants. They may advise setting up a separate limited company if you wanted to start buying property, because Companies House likes businesses to do one thing. You might have more than one SIC code. For example, when I had my property limited company, it was about managing real estate, buying real estate, renting real estate, okay? So there were 3 or 4 SIC codes there that I used, but it was all about the same category. It was all about real estate. So that's one thing to be mindful of. And again, any tax advisor or accountant that you speak to that's worth their salt will tell you this information. And so if you do want to buy assets with your company profits, that brings me to way number 3, which is it is perfectly legal and above board for you to loan profits from one company to another company. Now, most owners of companies are probably aware of the director loan account. Okay, so as a director, I can give money to my business, set up costs, etc. when I'm first starting out, but also it can loan money to me as a person. Now, it's not always the best thing to buy property in your own name, given current tax in the UK. It's often better to buy in a limited company. So don't use your director's loan account and go to you as a person. You can use the company and loan to another limited company. It's a tax-free way of getting money out of your business to buy an asset. Okay, so let's say I've got £200,000 profit sat in my business. It's not doing anything there. I've stored hay for the winter, as it were. So to, cover me for any ups and downs that my business might have. What am I going to do with that £200,000? It's just rotting away in my limited company account. If you wanted, for argument's sake, to buy property, I could set up a new limited company, ABC Property. And then my original business, my active business, can do a loan to ABC Property. I'm getting the money and getting the profit out of my original business to ABC Property tax-free. You can then, if you're doing something like a BRRR, you can then buy a property, add value, do it up, and then refinance and get a lot, if not all, depending on your deal, of your money back out, and then you repay the loan to your original company.
Yeah, great. And your original company can set an interest rate.
It can. It really can.
Charge you.
It absolutely can.
Yeah.
So it could be, I don't know how accountants or HMRC view those, but you absolutely can do that. And I know people who have. So your ABC property can be charged interest from your original business in order for that loan, just like a bank would. Exactly the same principle. So you can do that. For me, I don't know whether I would do that because I feel like I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul. But again, that's where your accountant and your tax advisor, with knowing your unique situation, will come into their own and earn their money and their fee.
Yep, I've done it. I'm charging myself interest now. Yeah.
Are you?
In my company, for my director's loan.
The thing to be mindful of about these intercompany loans, it's not a loophole, but it does need to be done properly. You can't just do a bank transfer from one company to the other. Speak to your accountant, speak to your tax advisor, make sure you're doing it right. You do not want to be stung by HMRC. That is not anyone's goal here at all.
No, nobody wants to be in trouble with the taxman.
God, no. We all got plenty of reasons not to sleep at night, right? Let HMRC not be one of those. The fourth way I want to talk about how your money can secure your future as a business owner is thinking about why you want to buy that property. As we all know, as business owners, life is up and down. Business life is up and down. You can have a good month, you can have a bad month. You're affected by something external to you, the economy, the change in government, whatever it might be, COVID, I don't know. There are always external factors, aren't there, that are adding pressure onto your business.
Yep.
When you have secured assets like property with your company profits or your surplus from your job, what you're doing is buying stability. It's another way that you can give a backstop to your life. You've got a bit of security there.
It's a different kind of income, isn't it? So it's important to have not only different streams, but different kinds of income coming in to stabilise.
Exactly that. And it's just, it's about securing your future. So stability is one of those ways that you will secure your future. So it's about think about what you can do with those assets in that way and what it will give for you that's more than just pounds on a balance sheet, essentially.
Yeah, okay.
It's a second layer of income that just provides you with a bit more of a security blanket. And that's crucial for business owners.
Along with that you are trying to grow that money as well and not just leaving it there. So you're putting it you're creating another stream of income, but that income is
growing as an asset.
Growing, exactly.
Yeah. You're
Good.
totally right.
Yep, I like it.
The final way that your money can help you secure your future is about a shift in your mind and your time frame. So a lot of people think, oh God, I've got to save for this year's tax bills due at the end of January. The wealthy plan their finances over a much longer time period than that, 20, 30 years. They're thinking about legacy. It's not just about income. And so...
thinking about generational wealth and creating it.
Property works well because it's durable, income producing, and it's relatively safe. There's that old cliche, isn't it? There's nothing as safe as houses. Yes, it can go up and down as crash, just like a stock market. But overall, the trajectory is up, right? Yeah. Let's think about the first time property prices were recorded in the UK. It was the Doomsday Book. When was that? 1066? Was it then?
A long time ago.
A really long time ago. We'd all have a little weep about how much the manor house was worth then. And why would we have a weep? Because property, look, it might have dipped along the way, but it's gone consistently up over time.
Yeah, over time. That's the most important thing, Even if it doesn't outperform, some crazy assets like crypto or whatever, it's still very hard these days to find an asset that is always going to go up in line with inflation. And to be honest, you don't need to be greedy. That's all you need. Mm-hmm. Your money to be going up in line with inflation, so you're not losing any.
The thing that I love about property is it's a transferable asset, right? You can leave it in as inheritance, or if it's in a company, you can pass that company on to other people. This is about being responsible for, and that's the way that you will secure that long-term future for you and your family.
Yes, 100%. It's a different way of thinking about it.
It really is. But once you have that mindset shift, you're just seeing the whole world through a completely different lens, aren't you?
Yeah. It changes everything. It really does. If this episode has made you feel like your money is not working hard enough, that is a good thing.
Because you've got awareness, and that is the first step to securing a different path for your financial future. Drop a comment below to let us know how you're securing your financial future with the money available to you. Thanks for listening to The Bungalow.
Like and subscribe on our new YouTube channel.
See you next time.